I don't know if you guys seen this. Look, like hundreds of mosques emerging in the past few decades. Hundreds. And here's the thing. Iran said this to the United States. Iran warns the United States will no longer be safe. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps issued a stark warning on March 2nd, 2026, declaring that the United States will no longer be safe anywhere in the world, not even in their own homes. And so if you look at all these mosques, you think about the millions and millions of third worlders, of Muslims in America, in Texas. These are all potential sleeper cells. Now, if you don't know what a sleeper cell is a group of people that live in a country covertly, blending in with the population, living like a civilian, but they are actually foreign intelligence agents. They're foreign assets, and they work for foreign governments and foreign states. So that at the, at a call's notice, or when they get a notification, they can finally act. And the Senegalese immigrant that killed a bunch of people mercilessly in Austin a few days ago, is it a false flag? Is he part of a sleeper cell? Is he a sleeper cell? Like, we don't know. But the reality is, he was radicalized. He was radicalized by Islam, and he hated America, and he hated what America was doing in Iran. So then he took up arms, and he killed a bunch of innocent civilians who had no business in politics. But lo and behold, that's what these people do. They don't care. They don't care about the innocence of the victims. They just go around mercilessly killing people. And so this is a huge national security risk. It's a threat to the lives of every American. This is why I focus on immigration so much, because not only is it the displacement of your native people and the erosion of your country, it actually poses a huge risk, a massive, dangerous risk to everyday citizens, everyday people, innocent Americans just trying to live their lives. We have to cut down on immigration, not only illegal and deportations of illegals, which is a given, but denaturalizations and deportations of even legal immigrants. Because the person who killed a bunch of people in Austin, the Senegalese immigrant, he was a naturalized citizen. A naturalized one. But he was someone who hated America, hated the Constitution, hated Americans, and still he was a legalized citizen who then took up arms and killed a bunch of American citizens. People like that should be denaturalized. Someone who doesn't want to assimilate to American culture, American customs, someone who avowedly hates America, whose allegiance is to another state, so then violating their oath of allegiance, we need to denaturalize and deport them. And there's nothing hateful about it. But we have to put the American people first. That's the bottom line. And we see this in Frisco, Texas, which is right outside of Dallas. Diversity in Texas, 100% Indian Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts, which is now Scouting America to be gender inclusive, but the Boy Scouts now is being replaced. Look, it's all Indians. And I don't hate Indians. I want to preface all the time, because people always try to say it. And they will say that I hate people no matter what I say, so I get that. But for those who don't know my content, or those who are who have been around, like, I always want to assure people that I don't hate vast swaths of people irrationally and for no reason. I don't have this crazy racial antipathy towards groups of people for no reason. But America is for Americans. And so assimilation can happen theoretically, but that happens at generations after generations. But you have millions of these people come in and congregate in certain areas, completely take over communities, then it's an invasion. That is an invasion. So here, look at this. This is the Indian robotics team in Arkansas. It's happening everywhere, by the way. Look, the robotics team in Bentonville, Arkansas. It's just all Indian kids. All Indian kids. And people might say, oh, this is assimilation. No, it's not assimilation. It's invasion. It's an intrusion. It is a takeover of, maybe not a hostile one, maybe a hostile, but a subversive takeover of your country, where they take everything that you have and wear it like a skin suit until they hollow it out, and then you have nothing left. And so people always cheer like, oh, this is such a diverse group. No, it's not. Because it's actually, by definition, not a diverse group, because it's only Indians, but people will herald it as a win for diversity. But diversity, like I said here, It's just a euphemism for no more white people. And people say, oh, you're just trying to be, you're trying so hard to be white. You want to be white so bad. No, I actually don't. I'm very proud of being Korean. I love my Korean heritage. But this is the reality. I think anyone with 2 brain cells can see that this is the reality. When people invoke diversity, because I actually unironically like diversity in the world. I want America to be America. I want India to be India. I want Korea to be Korea. I want Pakistan to be Pakistan. I want Germany to be German. I want that. I want them to be their own distinct nations. I actually like diversity. But when they say diversity, they just mean getting rid of white people. And by extension, Asian people, East Asians, because they consider East Asians white adjacent. And so when you have these vast swaths of people come in, they wear your Boy Scouts like a skin suit. They act like, or they try to say, oh yeah, we're just model American citizens. And then they come in, and then now they advocate for the destruction and subversion of American customs. So here, I'll play a short clip of this Indian guy during the city council meeting in Frisco. This Indian guy advocating to get rid of guns once and for all. So then, here it is.
Mayors and council members. Now, before I start, I just want to thank all of the courageous people behind me. I think I speak on behalf of the South Asian community, and that it brings us hope to see
the South Asian community. So they don't consider themselves Americans. They're like, oh, we're separate. South Asian community.
People who aren't even affected of our community to stand up for us. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for that. Yeah. But I'm going to switch gears a little bit. I want to begin personally. For many families in Frisco, including my own, this weekend wasn't a normal weekend. Sundays at my house usually begin slowly. My parents calling me downstairs, a walk together, a hearty breakfast. But this Sunday was different. Instead of waking up to
you should be going to church on a Sunday morning. That's what you should be doing.
Breakfast, I woke up to frantic messages about a mass shooting on 6th Street in Austin, a place where my brother and my close friends go almost every weekend. In fear, I started calling my brother, then my friends, then family, just trying to hear their voices to make sure they were alive. That feeling, that rush of dread before someone picks up, is something no Texan should experience as routinely as we do. And yet here we are. So I don't stand here tonight just sad, but I stand here tonight angry. Angry that families in Austin are planning funerals instead of weekend dinners. Angry that young people cannot gather in public without fear. Angry that mass shootings have become so common that they barely shock us anymore. We are told this is complicated. We are told this is inevitable. We are told it's the price of freedom. But it is not. Texas now loses more than 4,000 lives each year to gun-related deaths. Firearms are now one of the leading causes of death for children and teenagers in the state. Over the past decade, Texas gun death rate has not fallen, but has risen significantly. This is not a natural disaster. It's not lightning from the sky or a hurricane. It is a policy failure. And if we're serious about public safety, we cannot keep pretending that this tool of violence is irrelevant. Now, I understand that city councils in Texas face speed limit, but we are not powerless.
Okay, I don't want to play the rest of the clip. It's just the typical gun legislation rhetoric from liberals. But here's the thing. Look at it. It's these foreigners come into America to then disarm Americans. Like, think about it. It's a bunch of foreigners from foreign states who do not assimilate. They speak your language, sure, maybe, but then they don't observe your customs. They segregate themselves from Americans, but also drive out Americans. And then in so doing, they start to advocate for the overturning of American customs. And it's so funny because think about it. They come into your country, they start invading, and they say, actually, no, you can't have firearms to protect yourself anymore. It's open, it's brazen. They don't want you to live like America used to be. And if we really want to track it, there's a lot of problems, sure, with mass shootings, and I believe also we should not allow someone like, for example, a Senegalese immigrant who has ties possibly to the Muslim Brotherhood to purchase firearms. Now, of course, I don't want that either, sure, but my goodness, like I do believe, and I truly believe this, so many problems, especially even with mass shootings, will be solved by immigration. Like literally by mass deportations. It all comes down to immigration. So when you think about it, when you think about the scourge of abortion, when you think about transgenderism, when you think about all of these political issues that Democrats all vote for, the majority of immigrants, first and second generation immigrants in this country, vote Democrat. The vast majority. The vast majority. It's just a numbers games, and it's just true. So if you want to have authentic political change in the right direction without escalation to violence, because that's what politics is, it's a proxy for war. And then so to achieve what you want, instead of going to war and resorting to violence, you then resort to diplomacy and elections and politics. That's what politics is. But once you start to replace the electorate with millions, tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of foreigners, then like you don't have proper politics anymore. So what we really need to do, and what the sole priority has to be, is one, the SAVE Act, to ensure that only American citizens vote, but two, mass deportation. And mass deportations will result in so many of these downstream issues like trans shootings and Muslim shootings, the grooming of children, abortions, all these things, all these things that are downstream of mass immigration and mass migration into the West, they can all be solved. But that is the root problem. Like, that is literally the root problem, because you have foreign invaders who hate God, hate Christ, hate America, coming in and getting to dictate the future of your country, the rules of your country, and to then get into political office, amass political power, and tell you what you can or cannot do, what you can or cannot say. And this is a huge problem. You look at our tech industry in America. Most of the tech companies, who are the CEOs, who are sitting at the C-suite level positions, who are the C-suite level executives? They're all Indian. That's a problem. That is absolutely 100% a problem. Not only are most of these people not Christian, they're not Christian, so we can't trust them to navigate these new AI tech revolution issues with prudence and wisdom that comes only from the Lord. But these people are first and foremost loyal to India. That's why they keep replacing American tech workers with Indian H-1B workers. And keep bringing them in. Keep hiring Indians. And that's what happens. This ethnic nepotism is so much stronger than meritocracy, and Americans can't win. Americans cannot win. And so if you're wondering why so many things have gotten so much worse in America, so many things, economically, socially, politically, it is all downstream from mass migration from foreign countries of people who refuse to assimilate and instead hate our God and hate America. And this is a problem. This is a problem. And this is why I focus on immigration so much. It might be annoying and it might be redundant at this point, but it really has to be done. Mass immigration, it is a scourge. It is something that is destroying our country, and we need to crack down on it.